Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kurumore
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Kurumore
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More
Nityananda ki jai.
Jai.
Voilà, Premanandi, Haribo.
Attends, il faut que tu devines le verset.
J'ai déjà regardé sur le tableau, c'est dommage.
Verset 31.
Haribo. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chana Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chanda Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chana Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chanda Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chana Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chanda Jai Gora Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda. So we read from Sri Chaitanya Chaitamrita and we read Adilila. The author receives the order of Sri Krishna and Guru, the 8th chapter, and je lis directement 31 ou il y en a
Oui,
d'autres?
31.
So we read from verse 31. Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Shabha Vichara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Shabha Vichara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaeha Shrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaeha Shrudhara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Shabha Vichara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Shabha Vichara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Shabha Vichara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Shabha Vichara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
À vous.
Chaitanya Nityananda Nahi Sabhakara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Sabha Vichara.
Namalaita Prema Dene Viheya Shrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Sabha Vichara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Sabha Vichara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara. Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Sabha Vichara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Sabha Vichara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Chaitanya Nityananda Nahi Sabha Vichara.
Chaitanya Nityanandena hi Sabha Vichara.
Mama Vite Prema Dene Bahe Asrudhara.
Namalaite Premadena Vaheya Shrudhara.
Translation, word by word. Chaitanya Nityanande.
Chaitanya Nityanande.
When chanting the holy name of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda,
When chanting the holy name of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda,
Nahi,
Nahi,
they are not,
there are not,
Esaba,
Esava,
all this,
all this,
Vichara,
Vichara,
consideration,
considerations,
Nama,
Nama,
the holy name,
The holy name.
Lete,
Laite,
simply by chanting,
simply by chanting,
Prema,
Prema,
love of God,
love of Godhead,
Dena,
Dena,
they give,
They give.
Vahe,
Vahe,
there is a flow,
there is a flow,
Ashrudara,
Ashrudara,
tears in the eyes.
tears in the eyes.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
But if one only chants with some slight faith the holy names of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, very quickly he is cleansed of all offenses. Thus, as soon as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he feels the ecstasy of love for God. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarked in this connection that if one takes shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, follow their instruction to become more tolerant than the tree and humbler than the grass, and in this way chant the holy name of the Lord, very soon he achieves the platform of transcendental loving service to the Lord, and tears appear in his eyes. There are offenses to be considering in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but there are no such consideration in chanting the name of Gora Nityananda. Therefore, if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but his life is still full of sinful activities, it will be very difficult for him to achieve the platform of loving service to the Lord. But if in spite of being an offender, one chants the holy name of Gaura Nityananda, he is very quickly free from the reaction to his offenses. Therefore, one should first approach Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, or worship Guru Gauranga, and then come to the stage of worshipping Radha Krishna. In our Krishna consciousness movement, our students are first advised to worship Guru Gauranga, and then, when they are somewhat advanced, the Radha Krishna deity is installed, and they are engaged in the worship of the Lord. One should first take shelter of Gaura Nityananda in order to reach ultimately Radha Krishna. Srila Narottam Das Thakur sings in this connection, Gauranga Bodhite Abe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bodhite Nayane Bhavinira Araka Benitai Shandera Karuna Karibe Samsara Vatsana Mora Kabe Tuchave Vishaya Shadiya Kabe Shubha Mana Kabe Amairava Shri Vrindavana. In the beginning, one should very regularly chant the Gaura Sundar holy name, and then chant the holy name of Lord Nityananda. Thus, one's heart will be cleansed of impure desire for material enjoyment. Then one can approach Vrindavan Dham to worship Lord Krishna. Unless one is favored by Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, there is no need to go to Vrindavan, for unless one's mind is purified, he cannot see Vrindavan, even if he goes there. Actually, going to Vrindavan involves taking shelter of the six Goswami by reading the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagda Madhava, Lalita Madhava, and the other books that they are given. In this way, one can understand the transcendental loving affair between Radha and Krishna. Kabe Hama Bujaba Seyugala Piriti. The conjugal love between Radha and Krishna is not an ordinary human affair. It is fully transcendental. In order to understand Radha and Krishna worship, them and engage in their loving service, one must be guided by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and the six Goswami, Lord Chaitanya's direct disciple. For an ordinary man, worship of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu or the Panchatattva is easier than worship of Radha and Krishna. Unless one is very fortunate, he should not be induced to worship Radha Krishna directly. A neophyte student who is not sufficiently educated or enlightened should not indulge in the worship of Sri Radha and Krishna or the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Even if he does so, he cannot get the desired result. One should therefore chant the name of Nitai Gora and worship them without false prestige. Since everyone within this material world is more or less influenced by sinful activities, in the beginning, it is essential that one take to the worship of Guru Gauranga and ask their favor, for thus, despite all his disqualification, one will very soon become qualified to worship the Radha Krishna Vigraha. Shri Shri Nitai Sutta Ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Bhadev Subhadra Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Parishitwara Ki Jai. It should be noted in this connection that the holy name of Lord Krishna and Gola Sundar are both identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should not consider one name to be more potent than the other. Considering the position of the people of this age, however, the chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name is more essential than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation and his mercy is very easily achieved. Therefore, one must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. By serving Gaura Nityananda, one is free from the entanglement of material existence and thus become qualified to worship the Radha Krishna deities. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaura Nitai ki Jai. Om Gyanati Nandasya Gyanandara Sharagaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I read again the verse. But if one only chant with some slight faith the holy name of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, very quickly he is cleansed of all offenses. Thus, as soon as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he feels the ecstasy of love for God. Okay. So this chapter is very important for all of us who are in this material world, because this is more or less like how to chant the holy name. It's not like you have a medicine. It's not that you take the pill and without any indication how much you should take, which one you should take, and if you take without any consideration, maybe you will become more sick than what you was before. So the holy name also, there is some indication how to take it, and we should approach this saintly doctor with Krishna Das Kaviraj, who will give us the process to chant the holy name. So since some verse we read that Chaitanya Prabhu is more accessible than Radha and Krishna, is the door, the open door to come to Radha and Krishna. So we know about Chaitanya, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Lord Krishna come in the form of Lord Chaitanya to give love of God to everyone and to experiment himself. So we can follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. Krishna, when he come and ask to surrender, and he come to kill the demon and establish the principle of religion and to give association to his pure devotee. But in this form of Lord Chaitanya, he is not here for killing the demon, he is here for giving love of God. And this, by giving this love of God, this will kill all our anartha actually. So it's really important to know what is the goal. It's really important to know that the highest level of bhakti is to worship Radha and Krishna. This is the love of Radharani for Krishna. This is the highest level of devotion. And Chaitanya Prabhu said also that the gopi are the best. They show the best worshipper of Krishna. So he said us also this, but he said also us that we have to get purified before even speaking about the loving affair of Radha and Krishna. We should free of all karma, all lust, all avidity, anything should be clean from our heart. Otherwise, we will speak about Radha and Krishna like if it was a girlfriend and his boyfriend of this material world. And we will start to think, oh, Radharani is enjoying Krishna. She want to enjoy Krishna, and Krishna want to enjoy Radharani. But this is not like this. This is, we can hear from the pure devotee that they are both in the mentality that I want to give enjoyment to the other. They never think to their enjoyment. So it's really dangerous, because like we read now in this pastime of Shiva who become bewildered by Mohini Murti, that this attraction for the opposite sex is the root cause of our conditionment in this material world. So if we start to meditate on this root cause of our conditionment by thinking that this is a relation between Radha and Krishna, we are dead. We cannot make any advancement. So this is why our Acharya was fighting against this sahaja and this idea that we can really cheaply reach this level of pure devotion. We have to pass through the process of purification of the heart, and by this purification our heart will be like a lotus to welcome this divine cup of Radha and Krishna. But before that, it's like a cactus. So this cactus with all these small
Thorns.
plants, this all are anartha. So this anartha have to be cut, and we have to replace this cactus by a beautiful lotus. And in this case, Radha and Krishna will come and dance in the lotus of our heart. For now, there is just a small spin who come from the cactus, so we need to pass through purification. And this verse is very interesting, is that Chaitanya and Nityananda, if you change their name, if you try to serve them, they will take they don't take any offenses, and they take all your anartha. So it's just so nice. I mean, you just have to try to serve them. Even if you do offenses, it's okay, no problem. Like Jagai and Madai, they tried to kill Nityananda. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to kill them, but Nityananda said, no, don't kill them. If you kill them, you will kill all of the people of this world. So this is our situation. Prabhupada said we are little Jagai and Madai in this material world. Maybe we not act like Jagai and Madai, but we have some meditation like them. So if we control ourselves, we will not do like them, but we have this tendency in Kali Yoga. So, like Prabhupada explained in the purport, we should approach Lord Chaitanya, and actually I was a little bit surprised how he said it, because we used to say approach Nityananda and he will bring you to Chaitanya, but I read again the sentence because it's quite astonishing. So it's just here. For an ordinary man, worship of Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu or Panchatattva is easier than worship of Radha and Krishna.
C'est en dessous du bhajan de Srila Narottam Das Thakur, la phrase juste après.
Okay.
Juste en dessous.
Just answer?
Ouais.
Okay. In the beginning, one should very regularly chant the Gora Sundar's holy name, and then chant the holy name of Lord Nityananda. So it's surprising, because we used to hear you have to pass through Nityananda to come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So why is saying like this? So we can ask to some more advanced devotee, but my understanding is that Lord Krishna came, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goradvishe Namo Namaha, in his most merciful form of Lord Chaitanya, to give love of God. And if you don't have any love or any attraction for God, you don't think to get purified. Nityananda is the representative of the Guru, is a person who will help you to be purified, actually, to understand about who is Chaitanya. So first we hear from Chaitanya, and to hear Gauranga, we get love of God in our heart. we are a little bit covered, but
It will
we
come.
start to cry, to tremble, dance, and like we see in the street, many people when they are under alcohol, when the ego is finished, they kill the ego with alcohol or drug. They hear Gauranga, Nityananda, they start to dance, sometimes even cry or things like this, because they don't have the ego, but we have the ego. So we hear Chaitanya, and maybe our soul is crying, but our eyes are not flowing. It will come. And so this attraction, we would, oh, this is really nice. Let's see what is it. Like a children, you want, is coming to you, you give him a little bit sweet, he will, oh, he will taste, and after you can finish him. But first you have to give him some sweet. So Chaitanya is like this. He's giving us the sweet, the love of God. He's giving us Radha and Krishna. He is Radha and Krishna. He is a personified form of this love of God, the loving affair of Radha and Krishna. So he can give us, and Nityananda will help us to get purified, to after know who is Chaitanya. The first, you just take it really simply. You just chant Chaitanya and you feel attracted for this movement. And after you start to, so now how I can do to always feel this ecstasy, always being connected with this flow of love, and the Guru and Nityananda, so will give you some purification process. And this is all. Also, we read that Prabhupada said that to come to Chaitanya and Nityananda, you have to hear from the sixth Goswami, and the sixth Goswami will explain us. So, the sixth Goswami with Rupa Goswami, they say that you have Shraddha first, you listen, and after Shravanam, and after you will start to approach Sadhu Sangha, and this Sadhu Sangha will bring you to Bhajana Kriya. So the association of devotee will explain you why you are controlled by the false ego, why you cannot just act with your love and this flow of love coming from Lord Chaitanya. So after there is this Bhajana Kriya where you start to practice the purificatory process. The purificatory process actually is very simple, is to always chant, always hear about Krishna. All other things we do here is for that. If we don't do that, it means we better to start to think what we are doing here. The goal is to always chant the name. This is what the Lord Chaitanya came to give us. And Prabhupada also insists so much on this fact. And because we have a lot of passion and ignorance, we need to be active. But this action should not cover the process of Shravana Kirtana. All other activity should be always accompanied by Shravana Kirtana, because this is how we can always remember Krishna. And this is how Lord Chaitanya came to experiment this love of God. I was listening a class of Keshava Maharaj. He was explaining how Lord Chaitanya actually started to experiment this love of God. So he went to Gaya to do some, actually he said he gave an excuse to go to Gaya for doing some sacrifice for his father, Jagannath Mishra, who left his body. But actually he knew why he was going to Gaya. he was going there to meet his spiritual master, Ishvara Puri. And Ishvara Puri said him, Nimai Pandit, you are a great scholar, but all this scholarship is useless if you don't experiment this love of God. You should now chant this in. He gave the mantra to Lord Chaitanya. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to chant the mantra, because he's God himself, he's not a sinful person like us, he's not conditioned by the false ego. So when he started to have this experience of love of God, tears flowing from his eyes, the body trembling, dancing, and he could not stop it. He was always like this. So he went to Ishvara. What is this mantra? I became mad with this mantra. What is this? And Ishvara gave him a verse that is the essence of all the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually. I can read it. It's a very interesting verse. This verse says, by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. This 11-40, if you want to read it, is Malaj Nimi meets the 9 Yogendra. So by chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord, and he gradually becomes very much attached to a particular name and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he loves very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion. So all the Srimad Bhagavatam should help us actually, and all we are doing should help us to reach this stage actually of pure love of God, and to be always engaged in chanting the name of God. We should not become Sahaja also, and Bhaktisiddhanta in purport of few verses before was saying that this love of God will manifest first by renouncement of this material world. It's not that because you don't have tears in the eyes or the body trembling that you are not experimenting love of God. You are experimenting love of God when you start to think, oh, this world, I should renounce this world. I should focus my life to surrender to God. This is a feeling of love of God in the first stage of love of God. And Prabhupada, in the purport of this verse, he said, I want to read this part. He was explaining that his disciple who's going in the street, chant, dance, and make the people dance in the street, they are experiencing love of God actually. This is already a stage of love of Baba, of love of God. And this, we should always insist on this activity to chant with the other, to chant in the street, because this preaching is really pleasing for Lord Chaitanya. And it helps us to know who is Lord Chaitanya. And all these movements should help us to come to this stage of know who is Lord Chaitanya. If you know who is Lord Chaitanya, there is no problem in your life. Nityananda and Chaitanya take all your problems. There is no any problem in life. All problems come from sinful reaction of your activity, but if you are with Gora and Nityananda, there is no sinful activities, so there is no any problem in life. Can be cold in the temple, no problem. It can be, you can have problem in dealing with devotee if you are meditating on Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, it will resolve. All problem will be solved. So this is what this verse explains us, and what Krishnadas Kaviraj is teaching us in this part of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we should actually absorb ourselves in this meditation of understanding how we can practice bhajana kriya, actually this bhajana kriya, because like we said, every morning there is the offenses when we chant the holy name of the Lord, and even if we recite every day these offenses, we still have tendency because of our conditionment to again and again come to the offense of the holy name. So we should never forget Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, because they don't take offenses, and they will help us to understand Radha and Krishna. This is why before chanting Hare Krishna we always chant Panchatattva. Panchatattva, it will help us to understand our relation with the Lord. And when this relation is reestablished, after we can really easily chant, we can become attracted by chanting the holy name. Would you like to share something, some realization about chanting the holy name, chanting the name of Chaitanya and Nityananda? Some experience?
I need some clarification about this purport.
Mm.
Because at the end of the purport you feel like, but why we don't chant more Shri Krishna Chaitanya than Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is the first thing that came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, can you develop on that in that regard? Because it's the way it's formulated, it's like yeah, we should put emphasis more on this one.
Yeah, sure. I heard that in some place Prabhupada said you should chant only Panchatattva.
Really?
In South, in Africa, I think. He went there, and the disciple was, the people there was stealing everything, and Prabhupada, I don't know all the story, but I heard that Prabhupada say to them, Prashadam and Panchatattva. It's enough. So, but if we read actually just before, Krishna Das Kaviraj was explaining to us that if you chant only the name of Chaitanya and Nityananda without the holy name, it's not complete. You are not. It means you don't have a full faith in the Lord. And if you chant only Hare Krishna without Panchatattva, also you cannot chant. So Chaitanya Prabhu, he came not to give himself but to give Krishna. So if you want to please him, you should chant. He didn't ask to chant his name. He asked to chant Hare Krishna mantra. So we should not look what is pleasing for us, but what is pleasing for Lord Chaitanya and what is pleasing for Krishna. And Krishna and Chaitanya Prabhu are asking that we chant the name of God directly. And Lord Chaitanya, he appears in the form where he don't reveal himself like God, but he reveals himself like a devotee. So he helps us to become a devotee. So this is why we should chant the name of Chaitanya and Nityananda, who help us to become a devotee. But a devotee, he will chant the name of Krishna, because Krishna means all attractive. And Chaitanya Prabhu I think it means full consciousness or full life. So for chanting the name of God, you should be enlivened by Lord Chaitanya. And after when you are enlivening, sorry, I cannot pronounce it. I need some enlivenment. You can chant the name of God and become attracted to Krishna. So this is you cannot chant only one. You should chant both. This is how Krishna Das Kaviraj is teaching us. So because this fact that Lord Chaitanya is taking all our sinful activity, don't take any offenses, it comes from the doctor, Krishna Das Kaviraj. So we should not just listen one advice of Krishna Das Kaviraj, but the full advice. And the doctor is saying, Chaitanya, Nityananda, Hare Krishna mantra, Hari Bol. Both are needed. The both are needed. Because the attraction is toward the name of Krishna, which means all attractive. And when you become a pure devotee, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatanta Chastida Vrata Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya, you always chant the name of God. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita, the pure devotee, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, they always chant the name of God. So Krishna came and gave this. And because we are not able to follow this, we're not able to surrender. So Krishna come in the form of Lord Chaitanya and say, okay, you don't surrender, just you chant and you take prashadam. Don't care for surrendering. You will surrender. But this is how it's working. So both are needed. But it's really important to chant the name of Chaitanya and Nityananda when we chant Mahamantra. We are not qualified to chant without their mercy. If there was no Chaitanya, no Nityananda, we would not know Hare Krishna. Maybe Indian we know, but not us. Even yesterday I was reading in the Lilamrita. Prabhupada was in Bhuvaneshwar, I think, and one boy came to him and say, who is God? And Prabhupada answered very angry, you are Indian and you don't know who is God, you are a rascal. He said. This is your heritage to know who is God. And you should not ask this question, you should ask some question more about what are the dealing of Krishna, but not who is God. If you don't know who is God, what is this? So he said nowadays in India, people have forget their heritage from the past. And after during the day he was giving a big pandal, and someone in the food in the public asked, what mean Krishna? Prabhupada again said, what rascal you are? You are Indian, you should know what is Krishna. And he didn't even answer to his question. He just said, what rascal you are? So Indians should know that Krishna means all attractive, mean God, that God is enjoying pastime in Vrindavan, in Mathura, Dwarka, should know all this pastime with the Pandavas, all this, they should grow with this. This is their culture, and this is their meditation who helps them to become attracted very easily to God. Without difficulties, they will become attracted to God. Us, we didn't grow with this baggage, we grow with some example of what comes to me? Tintin, Milou. This is our baggage. This is what we come with. So what what we can do, we can just chant Gauranga Nityananda, Gauranga Nityananda, and after chanting Gauranga Nityananda, maybe we chant Hare Krishna, and maybe we will forget 10 times Midu and we become attracted to Krishna. So, yeah, we should ask to Chaitanya and Nityananda to free us from 10 times Midu and to attach us to Krishna, Radha and Krishna. This is our level from Shudra and Shanda background, low background.
As you were mentioning about constant chanting, I just wanted to share one drop of Maharaj. He is now giving some reading sessions in Mayapur about Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav. It's a book written by Bhaktivikash Maharaj about the glories of Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. And Gopaswami, at some point of the lecture of Maharaj, the reading of Maharaj and comments, he was sharing, yeah, Maharaj, you know, I remember this wonderful period of Krishna consciousness in France, when every devotee was constantly chanting or trying, you know, and it was starting already from the morning when they wake up. Like it was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. In the shower, Hare Krishna. In between brushing the teeth, Hare Krishna. In between every, you know, piece of prasadam, Hare Krishna. You know, it was really constant chanting, and there was no prajalpa going on. And if there was some, like it was, you felt it, like some dark eyes on you. And so, you know, he was remembering us about the importance of, keeping the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra going on in our daily activities, which is quite tough due to contamination. But he said, yeah, this is far from now, this period when we're constantly chanting. So when you were mentioning it, just refresh this. Yeah. I feel some kind of nostalgia about this period, you know, when I hear about in the Paris temple that some devotees, they were sleeping in the stairs, you know. There was not even space for everyone. They were like so crowded, the temple was so small, like probably bigger than this, but still so many devotees were coming and they were sleeping so happily on the stairs, you know, and then they were all running for Mangalarati and such a period and constant chanting going on in the temple and Harina, Sankirtan. Gopaswami was so enlightened when sharing all of these memories. So I just wanted to share this.
We can experiment this because this is eternal pastime, so we can it can revive. It's just maybe not now we don't see it, but we can experiment it if we always chant actually. Because this is not a question of this was past and now is today is different. This is eternal. So if I always chant now and stop to speak and just chant, I can experiment this. And from last time when I gave the class on Bhaktisiddhanta, I was mentioning and I heard. So Bhaktisiddhanta when so his father Bhaktivinoda Thakur already left the body. Gorakeshwara Das Babaji already left the body. He had no shelter. He went for 10 years to chant the holy name constantly. He was chanting 192 rounds of japa. And when someone came to get him out of this spiritual world, we can say, to come to preach, he said he saw a madman. He was chanting always and chanting Gauranga Nityananda, crying, jumping, dancing everywhere. And he was asking, you don't see Chaitanya and Nityananda and Shri Advaita and Gadada and Shivasya here chanting, come chant with me. And he was seeing them around him. So in same way, we can always chant and see Gopaswami always chanting when he brushes his teeth. This is eternal. This, the eternal pastime of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. It happened by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada in France and in all around the world. And now it's marked, the imprint are here and it's there. It's just we have to qualify us to experiment this pastime. But we can experiment it. And I feel whenever we go in Harinam, we can see that it's working. It's just that we don't do it. We have to do this bhajana kriya of always chanting. And Maharaj is showing us by the example when he is here. You can see that he is ecstatic. He's always chanting. Always he's chanting. When there is some management, he stop to speak, but he's always chanting. Otherwise, this is our goal. We should always chant.
The first time I met Maharaj, I think I met Maharaj personally. I had a kind of darshan. It was here in this temple.
Okay.
I was not chanting rounds, or probably I started, but it was really beginning for me. And due to his causeless mercy, he wanted to engage me in some service administration. It was about accounting, and we had this meeting. I was here to come and help, puffed up of my skills. And before we start, Maharaj was just chanting for 15 minutes, and I was not understanding. I am supposed to help here in accounting. Why are we chanting, And he just showed the importance of chanting, and he was so blissfully, chanting. And then we talked a little bit about accounting, and then the meeting was over. So definitely, he's compassionate to show the path, the real path.
Yeah, and he engages because we have this conditionment, so we have to do, we can say some karma yoga, yat karoshi, yat ashnosi, yat joshi, tadasi yat tapasi kunteya. Krishna is saying, whatever you do it for me. And because we think we are actor, we think we are the doer, we have to do some service. So by the mercy of the Guru, is let us doing this action for Krishna. And we will come to the point that, okay, the goal is not to be an action man. The goal is to be a chanting man, to always chant. And when we always chant, it's very nice. We can experiment this. So this is his mercy, to engage us. But he always remembers, chant. And before leaving to Vrindavan this time, I was with him in the room. I was expecting for some service, some, okay, you are responsible of Sankirtan, you are responsible of all of books. I was here waiting next to him. And he said, so now you don't have any obligation? I was waiting, please, service, give me service, please. That's all. So, he don't want, this is just to purify us that he give us, but this is Gauranga Nityananda, he engages in service, okay, feed the devotees, serve the devotees, worship the deities. Okay, this is very good. Nice, so nice service. Wow, the deities are so beautiful. Wow, the prasadam is very good. Yes, very good. He's saying all the good bhakti that we put in our service to encourage us and to show us that the God is bhakti. Before anything is bhakti. This is our God, is bhakti yoga. Bhaktyamama bijanati yavanyashtasmi tatvata. Only by bhakti we can know Krishna. And bhakti can be revived only by chanting. And when bhakti comes, we always chanting. And when we always chanting, we always in bhakti. And bhakti always brings us to chanting. So we should focus only on bhakti and chanting. And whatever the temple president asks us to do, we do it. Because we don't have ego. We don't have ego when there is bhakti. So please wash the toilet. Wash toilet. Please construct a wall and put some cement. Okay, I never did, but it's super. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. So this is not that I'm always chanting. Please don't ask me any service. I'm pure devotee. I can only chant and focus on chanting. Don't ask me service. The pure devotee is always chanting, but ego is ankara is finished. No ankara. So whatever you ask him is full dandavat, and he say, please tell me what to do. What can I do? How I can improve my service? This is pure bhakti. It's not that I am always chanting, reading. Oh, wow, Krishna and Radharani are enjoying in the forest of Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. No, don't ask me to do this. I'm with Radha and Krishna. Why are you asking me to do this? So, Gopalananda is showing us the example by always serving. He's always serving. This is bhakti. So maybe I will stop here before I become man.
We need to chant now.
So let's chant one mantra together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga Nityananda, Gauranga
Nityananda,
Gauranga
Nityananda.
Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita ki
Jai.
jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.